Frozen shadows, the wild boar wars. The world here is made of ice and breath. A Turkish dawn in midwinter is not a gentle thing, it slices. Wind schemes across the Anatolian plateau like invisible blades, turning every inhale into a test of will. Frost crusts the black trunks of pine and birch, while the snow underfoot sings its brittle song, a soft crunch that carries for miles. For the farmers of Kars province, this frozen beauty hides a brutal truth. Their enemy is neither the cold nor the endless night, but a creature of muscle and cunning, Sus scrofa, the wild boar. Thick-furred, fat-layered, and utterly relentless, these animals do not merely survive the winter. They dominate it. The human stakes. Farmer Emre Yildiz still remembers the morning he found his barley field torn to ribbons. It was like waking to a battlefield, he says, voice low, eyes fixed on the ruined stalks. Months of work, gone in a single night. Behind his stoic tone sits exhaustion, and something heavier, fear. Because when a herd moves through, fences shatter, soil erodes, and entire harvests disappear. For Emre and hundreds like him, the boars are more than pests. They are economic predators, capable of bankrupting a family before the first thaw. The Hunter's Pledge. Our team gathers at a weather-beaten cabin, each of us layering wool and canvas against the creeping cold. There is no bravado here, only the quiet discipline of people who have seen what these beasts can do. Rifles are checked, scopes cleaned. Dogs pace in excited circles, sensing the tension. The mission is not sport. It is stewardship, to protect fields, livestock, and livelihoods. The silence before departure is almost holy. Snow ticks softly against the windows. Someone murmurs a prayer. Then, with a single nod, we step outside and the hunt begins. First contact, the white chase. The forest receives us like a cathedral of frost. Breath hangs in the air like ghosts as we spread into formation, boots sinking deep with each step. Minutes stretch into an hour. Then the dogs stiffen, ears forward, tails like arrows. A sharp bark splits the quiet. I signal with a raised hand. Everyone freezes. From the tree line, a shape materializes, a boar the size of a motorcycle, dark against the snow, eyes burning with primal defiance. Its breath clouds in great plumes, its tusks catch the pale light. The world narrows to the heartbeat in my ears. A single exhale. The rifle cracks. The beast lunges, then folds silently into the drift. Relief and gravity mingle in that instant. One life ended to save hundreds of acres of crop. No cheers, only a shared nod, a silent understanding of necessity. Echoes of the pack. But where there is one, there are many. A distant chorus of barking erupts to the east, our dogs have scented the herd. We move fast, breath burning in our lungs. Through a break in the trees we glimpse them. 5, maybe 6 dark hulks plowing through the snow, their sheer strength making the earth itself tremble. Shots ring out, sharp, controlled. 2 animals fall. The rest scatter into the white wilderness, their survival instincts as fierce as the storm now rising over the ridge. The human cost. Night falls early here. By the time we return to the cabin, the temperature has plunged to -15. Frost clings to beards and rifle barrels alike. Around the fire, stories surface, a child trampled when a herd broke through a village fence, a winter's grain supply lost in a single raid. Each tale carries the same ache, a battle between human endurance and wild tenacity. Emre visits, bringing strong tea and quiet gratitude. His voice shakes slightly as he says, "You saved more than crops today. You saved us." Into the white silence. The Turkish winter does not simply arrive, it descends like a verdict. Cold air cuts through every seam of clothing. Snowfall blurs the horizon until the world becomes nothing but pale sky and endless ground. For the farmer who work these rugged hills, beauty is a thin veil stretched over hardship, and beneath that veil prowls an enemy built for this frozen realm, the wild boar. A landscape on edge. At dawn the plateau of Kars lies silent except for the groan of ice-laden pines. Breath hangs in the air like smoke from a distant fire. This is the hour when most creatures hide, but the boars are already moving. Muscle-bound and wrapped in bristling fur, they plow through drifts that would stop a deer, snouts rooting for grain beneath the snow. Farmer Emre Yildiz remembers the first time a herd swept through his land. I woke to find my barley field torn to shreds, he recalls, eyes fixed on the scarred soil. It felt like a war had passed in the night. For Emre and his neighbors, each raid is more than lost crops. It's a threat to survival, to school fees for children, to the quiet dignity of self-sufficiency. Gathering the team. We meet at a timber cabin crouched against the mountainside, its roof heavy with snow. Inside, kerosene lamps throw amber light across the walls as hunters check rifles with the calm precision of surgeons. This is no sport. It is a pledge: protect the fields, the livestock, and the people who depend on them. The dogs pace restlessly, sensing the tension. Someone murmurs a brief prayer. When the door swings open, a gust of ice-hard wind cuts through the room like a blade. We step into it without a word. First contact. The forest receives us with cathedral silence. Boots sink deep with every step, every exhale rises as mist. Minutes stretch into an hour until a sharp bark shatters the stillness. I raise a hand, signal to halt. From the trees emerges a shape large as a motorcycle, black against the snow. Its eyes gleam, tusks catching the first gray light. The boar snorts, a low thunder of defiance. I settle the rifle into my shoulder. One slow breath. A single shot cracks the frozen air. The beast lunges, then folds into the drift. No cheers follow, only the heavy silence of necessity. One life taken to save countless acres of grain. The herd awakens. Distant barks flare again, east this time. We run, hearts hammering. Through a break in the trees we glimpse them. 5, maybe 6 dark hulks churning snow, the ground vibrating beneath their charge. Shots ring out, controlled, deliberate. 2 animals fall. The rest vanish into the white wilderness, their survival instincts as fierce as the storm building overhead. Nightfall and reflection. By the time we return, darkness has swallowed the plateau. Frost clings to beards and rifle barrels. Around a small fire, stories surface: a child trampled when a herd broke through a village fence, a winter's food supply lost in a single raid. Each account carries the same ache, a battle between human endurance and wild tenacity. Farmer Emre arrives with hot tea. "You saved more than crops today," he says quietly. "You saved us." The first day is over, but the war is not. Beyond these ridges the herds regroup, clever and unyielding. For now, the land rests under a fragile calm, the stars burning cold above us. Tomorrow the hunt will resume, helicopter hunts and high-tech tracking. The second day breaks beneath a steel-gray sky. Overnight the temperature plunged to -20, the kind of cold that makes wood pop and breath crystallize midair. But the boars have not stopped. Fresh tracks lace the fields like a map of defiance, each print a challenge to the farmers who fight to hold their ground. Calling in the skies. The local authorities know the ground teams are stretched thin. Today, they deploy a different weapon, the helicopter crew, a partnership of wildlife officers and veteran pilots trained for precision pursuit. The machine arrives with a roar that shakes snow from the trees. Its rotor wash spins the world into a blizzard of powdered ice. Children from the nearby village shield their eyes, equal parts fear and fascination glinting in their gaze. For them, the thumping blades signal hope, a chance to reclaim their winter fields. Eyes of the hunter. Inside the cockpit, technology hums. Thermal cameras bloom on a screen, translating the frozen forest into an alien landscape of glowing heat signatures. Every living creature burns white against the black: foxes, hares, and somewhere, the hulking silhouettes of wild boars. Target acquired, the spotter murmurs through his headset. The pilot banks sharply, and the world tilts. From this height, the vastness of Anatolia stretches out like a frostbitten ocean. Yet all attention narrows to the ghostly shapes threading through a valley below. The chase. The herd senses the disturbance long before the rotor's shadow reaches them. Boars are clever, far more clever than legend admits, and they scatter with explosive speed. From above we watch their dark bodies cut through drifts, muscles working with relentless power. The crew relays coordinates to ground teams waiting in snow camo trucks miles away. Radios crackle with urgency. Engines rev. The dance of hunter and hunted titans. Ground strike. We race along a frozen riverbed, guided by the helicopter's barked directions. Suddenly, a burst of static and a shout, crossing the ridge, east side. We slam to a stop. Doors fly open. Rifles rise. Through the pines, massive forms surge into view, a living avalanche of tusks and fury. The first volley of shots echoes like rolling thunder. 2 boars collapse, the rest veer sharply, crashing through brush so dense it swallows sound. A dog yelps and lunges, hot on their trail, while the helicopter circles above like an unblinking eye. Technology versus tenacity. For all the gear, drones, night vision scopes, GPS collars, the hunt is never simple. Boars learn. They double back on their tracks, slip into icy streams to mask scent, vanish into cave mouths hidden by snow. One veteran tracker shakes his head. They read the land better than we ever will, he says. That's why this is war, not a harvest. Human costs, human courage. As dusk bleeds into violet, we regroup near a barn converted into a command post. Steam rises from mugs of scalding tea. Faces glow in the lantern light, farmers, hunters, pilots, all united by exhaustion and grim purpose. A mother named Selin approaches, her voice trembling. Last winter they tore through our goat pens, she says. We lost half the herd in a night. If you hadn't come. She stops, words swallowed by emotion. The room falls silent. Her gratitude is heavy, a reminder of what hangs in the balance. Night operations. The helicopter doesn't rest. Equipped with infrared sensors, it prowls the dark like a mechanical hawk. From the ground we watch its lights fade to a distant star, its rhythmic thrum echoing across the valley. Below, trackers slip into the woods with headlamps dimmed, their breath frosting in narrow beams of light. A distant shot cracks. Then another. The night hunt has begun. Reflections under the stars. Later, lying on a ridge beneath a dome of glittering constellations, I feel the paradox of this mission. The boars are adversaries, yes, but also survivors, embodiments of wild resilience. Their cunning and strength command respect even as we pursue them. I recall Emre's words from the first day, "You saved us." Tonight I wonder who will save the balance between human need and nature's will. Perhaps the answer lies not in victory, but in vigilance. The rotors fade. The stars sharpen against the black sky. Another day of the wild boar wars is over, but the conflict only deepens. Final note to viewers. If you've followed this journey through the frozen wilds and the relentless struggle between humans and the untamed, you know how much heart and effort goes into every story we share. If you'd like to see more deep dive documentaries like this, tap the subscribe button and turn on the bell icon so you never miss the next chapter of nature's untold battles. Your support keeps these stories alive.